Hello there YouTubes, and how is everybody? Now I wasn't going to go for a ride today because I got back from holiday the day before yesterday. I'm still a little bit jet lagged. Had a couple of weeks in Florida with the family, which was really nice. But I was sat at home. It pissed down this morning, so I thought, oh, I'm not going to go out. But I was sat at home and I was watching some YouTube videos, as you do. And I just got inspired to ride, really. So I thought, sod it, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to chuck my kit on, jump on the trusty rusty thing of beauty that is the CB250RS. I'll stick a little route on, TomTom Go Ride, and I'll have a bit of a spin down the lanes and a bit of a waffle, just as a catch up, because I know I've put the odd video out, but some of those are obviously pre-recorded, and there's a feature on YouTube. I don't know much about YouTube. There's a feature on YouTube where you can select when it's aired, if you like. So there's a few videos that have been posted over the last couple of weeks that obviously are pre-recorded. Oh, there's a bit of a big pothole there. These shitty little roads. It was dry on the main road, but obviously down these little lanes it's not so good. So I'll take it a bit easy. But yeah, the main video I was watching was a lad called Alex. He is, I wrote it down because I'm terrible at names. I think it's the Adventures of Bleary View, but when I get to this T-junction I'll stop, because I did write it down on a scrap of paper, so I remember. But yeah, Scottish guy. Oh, pile repairs, long delays. We'll see about that. Yeah, the Adventures of Bleary View. Highly recommended. Scottish lad who, a bit like me really, he rides and he waffles. But he rides all year, same as me. And he gave me a name check on his video from a few days ago, which was really nice, because obviously he's I guess a kindred spirit, even though we're separated by a few hundred miles. You know, and as you know, my channel isn't for anything other than people watching what I get up to in the future. Yeah, that was a really long delay. Yeah, that was worth someone taking a massive diversion, wasn't it? For two blokes watching another fella filling a pothole. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, he does what I do. He rides and he waffles. So Alex, if you're watching this, thanks very much for the mention. It really is appreciated. And keep doing what you do. Oh, Olins. Oh, hashtag not really Olins. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. I'll keep doing what I do. And let's see where this takes me. But yeah, today's waffle. He mentioned obviously my former employment. So I thought I'd tell a couple of, where we go, we're going straight on. I thought I'd tell a couple of little stories about that. Well, you can move over a little bit there. Yeah, so I thought I'd mention a couple of little stories. I did write a couple of notes. What did I write? Oh yeah, so that, what reminded me actually was catch up on the old TV last night, and Trigger Point, if those of you that have seen it. Really good series actually. I mean, it's not technically, it's a bit shite, and my missus does have a bit of a moan at me when I go, oh that wouldn't happen, oh that wouldn't happen. It's not a right turn. There's no markings anywhere. But yeah, it's I can't remember, Vicky McClure, is it? She was in This Is England, which is a superb filming series. I'm sure you've all seen it. Yeah, she plays a bomb disposal officer. But yeah, I was watching it, and it was pretty interesting. It reminded me of many years ago, and I'm talking probably 25-30 years ago. There was an IRA plot in Kent which was foiled, and I'm only saying this because it was the first episode was a substation that was bombed, and that's what they planned to do in Canterbury in Kent, not far from where I live, sort of 20 miles maybe. Pyra, Bristol IRA, planned to bomb the substation to disrupt the power supply, but that was a foiled plot, and it just reminded me, watching that last night, of the things that go on obviously away from public view. But yeah, I want to have a very quick waffle about some of the funny things that we used to do, and I'm sure you've all watched spooks and programs like that, and watching stuff like that reminded me of a time when we used to help training the baby spooks, who were obviously going out in the field and doing what they do, all very, very brave men and women in some very dodgy situations which no one ever gets to hear about. They really are some unsung heroes who have everyone's best interests at heart most of the time. But we used to train them, and we used to assist in their surveillance and counter surveillance skills, and they wouldn't know that they would have a team behind them until the end of the day. Well, you'd hope they wouldn't know. Some of them were really good, and some of them knew there was a team, and then we'd all go back to the offices at Vauxhall Cross, which is the big building that got blown up in the James Bond film. Can't remember which James Bond film it was, but M's on the bridge in her car and she watches the office get destroyed. Where's that building? Big glass place at Vauxhall, opposite the old Ducati dealer. Cheers, mate. Yeah, Vauxhall Cross. But what made me laugh about that place was, obviously it's a very secure place, as you would expect, and we used to park in the basement car park, which is a very interesting place. But once you enter through the main doors, which are on the main road, you then follow it round to the car park, and at the back of the car park to enter the building is a revolving airlock door, just like in Spooks, which is what made me think of this. A revolving airlock door. But most of the time I went there, the bloody thing wasn't working, so you couldn't swipe through one person at a time. So what would happen is, depending on the staff were on that day, they would just swipe the door and hold it open, and everyone would just file through, which obviously made us all chuckle. But we all had clearance, it wasn't a big issue. But you know, things that don't work when they should work did make me chuckle. But some of the young lads and lasses that we assisted in training, some of them were really, really good, and some of them were fucking awful. I remember one young girl went into a big department store and we lost her. Don't know where she went, we lost her. So I was controlling the team, and the only place in this building I could get a signal from was at the top of the escalators. It was like a central atrium with a glass roof. Turning left here. Oh, it is a left turn. It goes up a hill. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, it was a central sort of atrium with this glass panel, which I guess is where the signal got through. And I'm at the top of the stairs. I'm scanning around, controlling the team, obviously sending people to different floors and listening to what's going on, and just making sure we got control of the building so that she can't escape. And I'm trying my best to talk whilst not talking, sort of a bit of the old ventriloquism act, which is really difficult. And I glanced down, and coming up the escalator, staring at me and smiling, is this lady, and I just thought, oh fuck it, thought she's made me straight away. So I was a bit sort of despondent about that, because I'd never ever in my whole career had a compromise, despite a few close shaves, one of which I spoke about in the previous video. And anyway, we got to the debrief back at Vauxhall, and we had our debrief where we discussed what happened, and while she's having her own debrief with her trainer, and then we all come together where she basically points at people and says, I saw you here because of this, I saw you there because of that. So we learn from it as well. And anyway, we're all feeling a bit despondent because we think we've had a bit of a shit day. And this lady walks in the room, looks around at everybody intently and goes, nope, don't remember a single one of you. And we were like, what the fuck? So yeah, I don't think she lasted very long. But there were other people. Some people were really good. I remember one guy who pinged us the very first lift of the day. I won't go into the reasons and how he pinged us, but he was very good. He knew he had a team behind him the whole day, and he managed to lose us at one point. We did recover him, funny enough, and we recovered him at an underground station, and it was the newest guy on the team who found him, who went, you know, literally it calls up on the net, you know, he goes the words, and then went, I think that's him. So I joined him on the platform. I was in my scruffy shit. I joined him on the platform just to confirm it, really, because obviously he was a bit nervous, and it was him. Absolutely fucking, I mean, he was like hero of the day. So I took the air and I'm commentating in my shitty stinky clothes, and there was a guy on the platform and he kept looking at me and I kept looking at him. A bit of a like, what the fuck are you looking at look. And we got back to Vauxhall at the end of that day, and we're having our debrief, and we finished, and he walks into, well, this guy, sorry, walks in, and it's the same guy from the train, on the platform, and he looks at me, and he wanders up and he goes, do you recognise me? And I said, yeah, you was at the and I gave the station name, and he went, yeah. And he said, because obviously we don't know that we've got what's called third eye, which is a third party that's out and about watching us. So we're watching the baby spook, and we didn't know, but we had someone else from the department up at the services who we didn't know who was watching us, because obviously he wanted to see what we were doing and how we were doing it, and he could then watch his guy and how he reacted, sort of thing. And he said to me, he goes, I mean, these guys are very experienced, and he said, yeah, I saw you at the platform, and he said, I watched you for a while. And he actually said to me, I couldn't work out whether you were an operator or whether you were fucking mental. And I'm like, and he went, I decided you were just fucking mental, and ignored you. And I was like, that was a real sort of confidence boost for me, a real tick in the box, because you know that you're operating at a high level when someone is actually watching you and still thinks that you're not an operator. So that was a good day. But yeah, that lad, he was very good. I don't know where he went, obviously we don't know, we don't need to know, but I'm sure wherever he went he's doing a very good job, and I hope he's staying safe. But yeah, good days. I can't remember what else I was going to waffle about. I can't remember, I've gone blank. Some days you just have to get out and ride. But what I will do in the future is I will give some more waffles about things I can talk about. You know, as I said before, unfortunately all the good Gucci stuff you can't talk about, but I will try to think of things. Turn right, then turn left. 6 Mile Lane. Yeah, I know where I am now. Have I ever come out this way? In this junction? I don't think I have, you know. But I know roughly where it's going to take me now. In fact, there's a car park just up here, and we're on a firearms job. I can't remember if I've mentioned this because I've ridden this road before. We're on it wasn't a job, sorry, it was a firearms training day where you've got firearms officers, and because they're not surveillance operators, they have trouble listening to our comms, to our net, and knowing what's exactly happening, because there's a whole different terminology, a whole different glossary that surveillance operators use. because some words mean some things when you say them in a certain way. So what would generally happen on some jobs is they would get one of us to drive them. So we would basically drive, we used to call them the gunships, we would drive the gunships. So you would be the driver, and you'd have 3 firearms officers with you. We used to call them nicknames actually, we used to call them gun CUNTs. Yeah, the gun cunts. But it's that car park there. And we were doing some, I expect Facebook are probably going to blurt that, aren't they? So I might have to go and actually edit that little bit out, because I'll drop the C-bomb. But yeah, we were doing the strike, and the subject drove into the car park. They called the strike, and obviously the cars go in and block to make sure they can't escape. And I went in just a little bit too hot, and I actually crashed into the back of the car. You know, it was only sort of 5-10 miles an hour, but the trainer got out clutching his neck, going oh, until one of the lads went, oh fuck off. I won't say his name, he went, oh fuck off, what do we call it? So and he went oh, he was obviously thinking, with his blame there's a claim. Oh, it's a bit of a hole. But yeah, that was quite a funny little, that was a funny day. And that was good days. Used to drive those lads around, and you know, when something real went in, obviously you were in the thick of it, with the old 9 bangs flying in under cars and tyres being shot out and all that sort of stuff. That was all good, interesting fun. Turn left. I do love these little lanes. Do you know, I came back from America where everything is just so wide. So we're in Florida. Everything is so wide, so flat, so straight. You sort of think, oh, it's beautiful weather for riding bikes. Well, it is beautiful weather. There's just fucking nowhere to ride them because the roads are shite. We've got a road closed, but it looks like it's sort of right up here. Yeah, it is. Okay, can't see what that is, but right, anyway, I'm going to carry on riding. So yeah, if you've enjoyed my waffle, chuck it a thumbs up, and again, thanks Alex, Adventures of Bleary View. It's a bit shitty. Yeah, it's appreciated. It's nice when you get other people that are on your wavelength that suggest channels, because it gives you somewhere else to look. And I must admit, coming back from Florida, I've got so much YouTube to catch up on. And I've got like 2 weeks of the stuff that I normally watch. Which I was going to say, which what I was doing today, but look, the sun's come out. I was inspired to ride, so I needed to get out. But yeah, anyway, ride safe if you're riding. If you're watching YouTube, enjoy watching shite like this. Check out other people's channels and have a great week, and I will catch you all on the next adventure of RS'ing about with the thing of beauty that is the CB250RS. Take care everybody.